All right, this is for a customer's King Air 200. This is the initial rough sketches of what I anticipate to be the build process. So one of the concerns we had is that the initial airplane, the kids will likely be coming in from the back or even potentially from the front. And what my concern was, as well as the clients, is that when they're climbing in, because it's tri-gear, we don't want the aircraft to tilt backwards. So my solution for that is from this back seat forward is going to be steel chassis enforced, which in the nose wheel will be way out front. And so realistically, the bulk of the weight will be about where the center of gravity would be in the real airplane. So I'm anticipating that the weight of all this forward of this trailing edge will keep the aircraft sitting flat while kids climb in. That being said, this tail section will almost be exclusively made as styrofoam covered in fiberglass. So it's mainly designed for looks, and it will bolt to the back seat portion. And it's not designed to hold any kind of weight or any kind of crazy structure. It'll have the basics to bolt the horizontal stabilizer, and the rudder will be pretty bulked up, but realistically it's almost in essence a hollow area that has a beefed up bulkhead that bolts into that. So it's removable. The wings themselves, the leading edge of this will have a pretty stout piece of steel that's going to house this assembly that I will make, and you can see here. So this is one full piece with the motor mounts staying intact as far as I know at this point prior to build, and this will bolt underneath the fuselage, and if I'm lucky I'll be able to put it on a crate like this. So this crate I think is 8 feet long. That's what I have to work with, so I'm anticipating this is how it'll come apart. Plus it assists the clients in storage. They don't have to store this thing. This is going to be a beast. You thought the last one was monstrous. This will look really awesome, actually. The wing tips, which have these winglets on them and electrical lighting, will plug into the sides. Hopefully kids don't jump all over this and try to sit on it, but realistically it'll have kind of like makeshift spars that should support it for the most part. And really this comes down to moms and dads paying attention to the kids when they're riding this, because it is remote control and it does have potential to do things it shouldn't do, so it's really on the parents. So for the client, this is something I haven't decided if I'm going to do or not. It would be kind of cool to do two things: either bring the walls of the aircraft up fairly high so you almost just have little kids' heads sticking out, but realistically, to keep the streamlined long look of this, it's probably best that I make the aircraft fairly shallow, which will give it a longer look to it, because normally pedal planes and stuff, they're chubby versions of the real plane. But chubby in this case is going to make it look like, like a Lance Air or something. We don't want that look. We want the stretched look. So I'm debating on making this area a drop down. That can be an after the fact idea, and potentially cutting in the holes for the windows and making them plexiglass. I think that would be a pretty trick looking deal on this thing. Or if not cut out, I could always do just, the painting of the windows. So anyway, that's optional. One thing I got to thinking about is, because this is going to be steel reinforced, there's going to be areas, let's see if I can use a pin. These bars right here will be what bolts this wing down, so it's pretty stout. So potentially what I could do here is I'll build me a chassis that has maybe a 1-inch space from the walls, and that allows me to drop in floors. So the option for the client would be is they can modify this floor depending on what the two kids' growth is like. So they could leave it solid while the kids are young and they just sit in it like a bathtub, or as they get older and they're getting too big, This could be cut out and modified where the legs hang down. There's absolutely nothing to get in the way of the children's legs hanging down on this aircraft the way it's designed, but this could be changed. So there could be a build-up area of a second set of instruments for the kid in the rear. It just creates some more options. And also the client could call me and say, hey, here's the measurements, which I already have. Can you make me a different type of insert? Just for one kid, make this a storage area for a, stuff, blanket, or his dog, things like that. This area here is kind of a new concept I'm wanting to do. If this is used as a static model with no kids in it, you can put this cap on top of it and make it a complete looking aircraft where it doesn't appear to be a kid's toy. I'm anticipating that the nose area will be removable some way. I haven't decided yet. I usually make this up as I go. That'll access areas of the swivel wheel here and all the electronics and all that good stuff. Now, if you look at the interior, it's really important that this window stays intact for this aircraft build because it really kind of determines instantly what aircraft this is just by a glance. Now, the dash of the King Air that I'm working with is what some guys will call like a glass cockpit. So a majority of the instruments are actually touchscreen kind of things, almost think like an iPad. So I'm thinking the easiest way for me is to take the actual aircraft details, do a photorealistic vinyl print, and then cover that in Lexan so it can be washed and won't get ruined. And then within that will be working components. So in this case, most of their cockpit is green lit. So I have located some automotive-based 24-volt rocker switches, and that'll power things like sound effects, turning the motors on and off. Then there'll be a green-based voltmeter that's also usable. And there will be USB plugs where you could actually put the kids, they could plug in their iPads and things and do different things. In this one, I'm going to go a little bit different. I'm going to do flush mounted speakers on each side and do it like that. So I think this build is going to be pretty sick, actually. I'm anticipating that. So right now I've purchased a majority of everything that I need, and I've got, I don't know, 1,500 into purchases. Actually, I think I'm sitting at 13, which is what I anticipated. And realistically speaking, when I get on these, I want them to look ultra realistic, so I will probably overspend. It's what I do. But ultimately, the client's going to be pumped. So I'm pretty jazzed about it. So anyway, looks like I'm getting stuff on my face. But anyway, I'm at work on my lunch break, and that's what I'm doing right now is working on this kind of stuff. So anyway, Zachary, I hope you enjoy the build processes you're about to start experiencing. And as usual, I give clients access to my Google Drives, and it allows them to see pictures of progress and videos. So anyway, I'll be posting this on Facebook and YouTube as I progress. So I'll talk to you later.